And we're back.
We're back with a big question.
Oh, man.
Do you tip in Peru when you're eating out?
Do you?
It's a mixed bag, of course.
It is a mixed bag. Depending on who you ask, you will get a different answer.
Yeah.
Depending on when you ask, you will get a different answer. And so we're going to give some general ideas, and then maybe at the end I'll just throw in a couple other details of, like, other possibilities. But let's get right to it.
Yeah. So the general answer is that tipping is not expected.
Most restaurants.
In most restaurants. In casual restaurants, so like if it's just a quick sandwich, if you're having lunch at a menu, not expected.
Not expected.
But if you have good service, we still tip if we have good service.
Yep.
If you're at a menu, it's between 5 and 8 soles, so an extra sole or two.
Yep.
Is fine.
Yeah.
But it's also fine to not tip because in those casual settings, it's not expected.
So in restaurants in the States, we're pretty used to it right around 20%.
Mm-hmm.
So if you are in a restaurant that seems like it's like something you'd see in the States or Europe, perhaps
nicer.
A little nicer maybe,
Yeah.
15% is what is kind of thought of as the average, is
Yeah.
the standard.
But if you're at like a really fancy restaurant,
Right.
like in Lima, there's Maido, which we went to, and we'll put that video where we went there down below.
Place
It was
else.
amazing. If you're in Lima, go there, like, for sure.
Post haste.
But extra fancy places like Maido, the tip might be included.
Yep.
So if you're unsure,
Look at your bill.
Look at your bill, ask your server or the maitre d' or whatever, because it probably will be at like really fancy restaurants.
Yeah. One of the other kind of conventions that I heard is that if the total bill is 45 soles or more, then you're tipping at 15%. If it's under 40 soles, under 45 soles, then it's kind of at your discretion. Some people tip, some people don't. That's one of the kind of the other theories that we've heard. And I kind of apply that, but usually I'm just in a habit of tipping anyway, so I just do.
Yeah. Another thing to mention is if you have local friends, Peruvian friends, and you're out with like maybe a host family or other Peruvians, if you go to tip, there's a good chance that they might tell you, oh no, you don't have to tip.
Right.
Or you're tipping too much.
Right.
But, you do you, is what I say. So I think 15% at a nicer place is fine.
Yeah, totally. And also, just another note, just kind of about service in general, I think is worth mentioning, especially if you're from the States, especially from the States, because the United States is a weird place.
Yeah, we've come to find that the United States is
a strange place.
Yeah.
In almost every measure.
So, if you go to it doesn't have to be a nice place, like even if it's like your hometown cafe or something, we're pretty used to the fact that the waiter or waitress will come up multiple times.
Or regularly.
How are you doing? How's everything tasting? Can I help you with anything else? What do you need? Would you like dessert? Can I get you the check? Here's the check.
But no rush.
Yeah. But that's not what happens here.
No.
I would say I've not been to Europe, but I would think that it's a little more European, where you're kind of left to do your own thing.
Right. And kind of another thing that was really weird at first was like having to signal the waiter or waitress.
Don't be afraid if you need something to just kind of raise your hand and kind of beckon them
somehow
over.
Get their attention.
Yeah.
Right.
Because they're not going to be checking in on you every 5 minutes like in the States.
Which I kind of prefer.
Yeah.
To be honest.
Another thing, which is really nice, because they're not checking in on you every 5 minutes, in the States, our meals we eat really quickly.
Yeah.
So especially if you're at a restaurant, you kind of feel the pressure to not hold up that table, right? You got to eat and just leave, and that's it. There's no time for visiting. You don't just hang about. But that's also different here.
Totally.
It's totally cool if you spend 2 hours chatting with your friends at the restaurant.
Right.
That's almost expected, so don't feel like you have to get in and get out.
Yep.
So that's a really big difference as well.
Yep. But you should try all the food. in
Yes.
Peru. It's awesome.
Please.
It's awesome.
It's really good.
Yeah, it's outrageous.
But this is another quick video. I think that's all we have. So we're going to end it, and we'll see you later.